Welcome to the show, we staying high on the hog, talking razorback pride through the smokes and the fog, from the hill to the field where the red runs deep, big soy in the crowd, hear the thunderous sleep, basketball courts, football lights on blast, diamond hog swinging, putting legends in the past, it's the natural state where the fans go hard, Arkansas forever, this the razorback yard.
All right, welcome back to High on the Hog. I'm your host, Sawyer Dillinger, alongside my dad co-host, John Dillinger. And we got another good one for you today, as always. Every week we have a good show.
Every week.
Every week. It's rivalry week in the states of both Texas and Arkansas, as two old Southwest Conference foes begin the Southwest Classic Conference in back in home-and-home situations. So it's going to be exciting.
It's about time, is all I can say. When we started this, I don't know if I won't go over the numbers because I know you got it all, but when we renewed this rivalry, Texas A&M, before they come into the SEC, we started this Southwest Classic, and we was going to renew the rivalry. When we started this thing, Arkansas had a double lead.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like, whatever it was, 40-20,
Yeah.
And ever since A&M has come into the South Eastern Conference, they have dominated this series, but it has been in the state of Texas. And so I'm hoping that getting this thing back to a home and home, as you said, and this thing being at Fayetteville this Saturday, it's going to be good news for the Hogs.
I hope so. So, again, like I said, Arkansas has got a long-standing history with Texas A&M. Dates all the way back to 1903, over 120 years ago, for the first time the game was played. And we played almost every year from 1927 all the way to 1991. So this is a team that Arkansas is very familiar with. Of course, both teams have played over and over again. Arkansas split in 1991. They joined the Southeastern Conference, and then sometime soon, A&M, Texas, Oklahoma packed up, went to the Big 12. But over the past 2 decades, the Aggies have won 12 of the last 15, 14 of the last 20. So, like I said, they have dominated this rivalry over the last 20 years or so. They're on a 3-game win streak, and they're certainly going to be favored this week to add on to that streak. They do have to travel to Fayetteville. Again, first time in 12 years. It's set for 2:30, and the kickoff that's the time for the kickoff. It's going to host the Darren McFadden ceremony before and during the game. So it's going to be an exciting game. A lot of stuff going on. Of course, Darren McFadden, the greatest college running back of all time, in my opinion. Certainly in the top 5 for everybody's conversation, surely. Just an all-time great Hog.
Darren McFadden was the most electrifying football player I've ever had the privilege of seeing. And in a Hog uniform, the two greatest is him and Matt Jones. And watching both of those guys run the football was a thing of beauty. I'll say this, though. Taylon Green flashes, he's not Matt Jones and he's not Darren McFadden, but he flashes in that realm.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he can do things other quarterbacks can't do.
Yep.
In that 3-point loss that we saw last week to Tennessee, he showed some escapability that no other quarterback in the SEC, not even Trinidad Chambliss,
it was
the speed.
It was KJ-esque stuff.
It was better than KJ. As far as I'm talking
speed-wise, absolutely.
Yeah, KJ would run you over.
He'd break off 4 sacks just because he's that strong.
There was that one where he had run 15 yards backwards.
Yeah.
Had 8 people in
chasing
pursuit
after
of him and wound up making a 20-yard gain
first
out
down.
of it. That was impressive.
Yeah,
And
sure, it's
now
certainly impressive.
the difference, if that had been Matt Jones, it went to the house. Matt Jones. Have you ever went and watched any old videos?
I
of
can't
him?
watch old
I tell you what, I
bad
did.
graphic
I tell you what, I don't
videos.
remember if it was last night or it was the night before last.
Y'all's time had poor graphics.
I watched the 1970 Sugar Bowl last night. Found a video. Wish I
War
could
Machine
remember.
probably.
I don't
He
think
always
it was War
uploads.
Machine. It was like college foot. It wasn't an Arkansas side. It was like college football.
Archive something or
Yeah,
another.
something like that. And it was a high quality video. Now, nothing like what we normally see, but for 1970,
Yeah, remastered it
was
probably.
it was remastered and it was done well. You could actually see. I was shocked to see how much Archie Manning looked like Eli. Him and Eli almost like Eli looks almost identical to his dad when his dad was in college. But it was the 1970 Sugar Bowl, Ole Miss and Arkansas. I think Arkansas was number 3 in the nation. Ole Miss, I don't remember what they were. It was a great game. Arkansas is another one of those. Arkansas should have won it. We had this. I had forgot about this game. We had this one of the best kickers in the country. First 2 Arkansas scoring what should have been scoring possessions. We opt for field goals, close field goals. He has a real weird approach. Instead of coming towards the ball, he starts behind the snapper and comes up, and I'm like, this is going to be weird. And he missed them both, and he missed them atrociously. And had it not been for that and a late fumble by Chuck Dykes, we'd have won that game. But it was
Sounds a lot like recent history that I've seen.
It was hurtful. It was like watching. It's like, okay, this is a long-standing
problem
tradition
Yeah.
with Arkansas. But I said all that to say this: you ought to go back and watch some of the old, what would be old to you, Matt Jones era, and then the Felix Jones, Peyton Hillis,
Yeah.
Darren
Watching
McFadden era.
Darren McFadden's old games is about far back as
About as far
I've
as you
been,
can go.
and I can't really stand to watch it because it still was too hard to watch.
Yeah, if you can't stand to watch the
2011
mid 2000s, then watching 1970s is. I'm gonna watch 1969 Arkansas Texas game tonight.
Yeah, I'll say this: my favorite game that I've seen. Apparently, I don't like. To me, not really, but it is that 2021 Texas when we beat them, because I have went back and watched not clips the whole game through 5 times.
Well, here's the thing.
I don't know why.
If you'll go back, any Arkansas fan that is, your age range, and even my age range, because these teams were before my time too. My dad was a big fan and told me about Frank Broyles and their teams and Lou Holtz and his teams, and Uncle Tony was a real big fan of Frank Broyles and Lou Holtz, and had the Lou Holtz doll and all that, Anyways, so I knew the history, but if you go back and watch any of those old broadcasts, the respect that Arkansas commanded back then, they talked about Arkansas like they talk about Texas and Notre Dame and Alabama. I mean, it was like Arkansas was number 3 in the country, and we had lost the game, and we was having it was kind of a down, it was like everybody was down because we didn't go undefeated and win a national championship. For Arkansas to be ranked number 3, 1, 3, 5, it was just, that was every year. And you could tell by the way the broadcasters talked about us, it was just such a different era. Which brings me to my next point. We should leave the SEC and join the Big Ten.
Okay.
Did I say that last week?
You've said that for about 2-3
I
weeks
used
now.
to say Big 12.
Yeah, but
But
now
it's passed on the Big 12, the ACC. They're nothing. The Big Ten has equal footing with the SEC, but it's a much easier conference.
I was about to
win
say
in.
it. Not really much. It's not equal, but it's getting close.
Well, it's equal in the
NCAA's
money
respective,
and,
perspective.
The way they having just as good of deal, if not better. They when you go to the college football playoff committee stuff, they hold the Big Ten and the SEC as equals,
which is crazy.
And so I'm like, let's get up there and join that league.
Go undefeated every year.
I mean, yeah. So I'm
Compete
still on that
for it, at least.
bandwagon.
Yeah, I'm not going to join that bandwagon. You know, I like to be in the SEC because it is the most competitive league. I don't like to lose every single year, but here's why I'm not jumping off, because if Ole Miss can be ranked number 4 or 5 in the country, Arkansas can get back. Ole Miss there's not a single avenue
Texas A&M
route.
same.
There's Texas A&M has more money than everybody, but Ole Miss doesn't have a single
They don't
edge.
have more money than Texas.
They don't
have. You're right. Ole Miss is you're right.
Yeah, Ole Miss doesn't have a
is
single better
example of this,
like anything than Arkansas. I mean, Fayetteville's a nicer town. We have more money. We have bigger donors. We have better alumni. We have an NFL team or two. I mean,
well, Arkansas,
not in Arkansas, but Dallas
I mean,
Cowboys.
if Arkansas was sitting here at 5-1, they would be.
Yeah, but we're not
5. So yeah, and that's why I'm saying.
But if Ole Miss can do it in the SEC, why can Arkansas not? That doesn't make no sense to me.
Well, right now it's because Ole Miss has the right coach and Arkansas didn't have the right coach. So that does matter.
It does.
And that's why getting this higher
right
is so.
It's got to be right
important.
now, or we're going to lose like all of our donors.
Yeah.
If we don't figure something out right now, get them excited and get them spending their money, we may not get to for quite a long time.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, because entering the Arkansas coaching search hot board this week, our newest entrant, drum roll, pull him up, James Franklin.
James Doofus looking Franklin.
James Franklin is.
I'm not gonna lie. When you first said that, I looked at my $100 bill that I don't have, and I was like, I don't think he's gonna come back and coach anymore.
Yeah.
He's long gone, but
he is a
Penn
descendant
State.
of Benjamin Franklin.
Perhaps, maybe.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely not.
James Franklin was fired from Penn State
Rightfully so.
this year. That's crazy. I think this was his 12th season. He was in the middle of his 12th season.
Golly.
Average right at 10 wins a season.
Mm-hmm.
The least all right, what's the least amount of wins? Now, he coached the last 12 years at Penn State, and before that he coached, I think, 3 seasons at Vanderbilt. What do you think the least wins he's ever had in a season was?
I'm going to say it's at Vanderbilt for sure. And I'm going to say the least amount of wins he had was, man, Vanderbilt's terrible. I've never known Vanderbilt to ever have a good season. 6.
6.
6.
6 is the least amount of victories he's
That's
ever had.
That's crazy.
He had back-to-back 9-win seasons at Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt?
Yes.
When did that happen? Because as long as I've been
2011,
alive, Vanderbilt has been atrocious.
2011, 12, and 13.
Wow.
He's the one who made Vanderbilt have hope. Like, well, he was there those 3 years. Again, he was like 6 and whatever, and then 9 and 4 and 9 and 4. And they were like, okay, we can win.
Yeah.
And Penn State hired him. And listen,
Rude.
I know he has a bad record against top 5. That's the knock on him. And that was the knock that Paul Feinbaum was talking about him, Stephen A. Smith.
That's the knock I'll probably give him
That's the
when you
knock
get through.
that your brothers was talking about, and probably that you. But when you got to understand that when he took over Penn State, they were decimated by the child, scandal there. Are you familiar with that?
No idea.
So
I know Liberty had
No.
not Liberty.
there was they had a long-time head coach
some
named Joe
principal or
Paterno.
something.
Joe Paterno had won
I've
like
heard his name before.
3 or 4 national championships over the year. He coached there literally like 50-something years. I mean, he was the head
Good
coach
grief.
since the late 50s all the way. Like, he outlived and outcoached Bear Bryant, Frank Broyles, Darrell Royal, Johnny Vaught, all those long 60s and 70s legendary coaches. He coached against them and then outlasted all of them.
Yeah.
He had a longtime defensive coordinator named Jerry Sandusky. Jerry Sandusky, and I'm not going to go into any of the gross details of it, but he had this foundation where he supposedly was helping adolescent boys, underprivileged boys, and everything, and he was bringing them to the football facilities and was not doing right things with
Wow.
them. And it was seen of other it was kind of known, but
Really?
nobody really reported it, and so that's what Joe Paterno wound up getting fired over, and so he
Arrested, surely.
because he didn't get arrested. Paterno didn't.
That's money for you.
Now Sandusky did, the guy that was doing it, and is in prison, and I'm surprised is still alive. But a lot of coaches, they turned a blind eye. They all kind of passed the buck on the, because what he did was he went and reported it to his boss. But that's not what you do. You call the police.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So
you shoot
So
him.
anyways, he takes over in the midst. So after all this fallout, Penn State didn't get the death penalty. They should have. They should have shut that program down and said, no football here for 10 years. Y'all got to get your hearts right. Get your lives right.
Yeah, go to church.
Yeah, I mean,
find
y'all need
God.
to go to church, find Jesus, and get this. But he took over there where they were the scorn of society, Why he wanted that, why he was willing to do that, I don't know. They had to throw the bag at him.
Yeah, you're going to get some money. Especially if you're doing it at Vanderbilt, you're going to get some money.
And so you have to take all that into consideration. I know he's not got a good record against top fives and stuff, but, who does really? I mean,
Nick Saban,
okay,
Kirby Smart.
Okay, I got you. I'm not saying he's Nick Saban or Kirby Smart.
Yeah.
But he's in the next tier below that, So I do think he will be, if he wants to be, he should be a candidate at Arkansas. I'm not saying he's going to get the job. I'm not saying he's a front runner or anything like that. In fact, I was kind of thinking, like right now, who this week's updated top 5 would be. I'm going to put him at 5.
Okay.
Because I do think he is the most interesting new person to enter, the discussion. I would say probably everybody's talking. Have you heard the talk about, what Lashley supposedly has said?
Mm-mm. I haven't kept up much with the coaching stuff. I let you talk
I'll
about
be
it.
the coaching search.
Yeah, the dedicated coaching search guy. I like to
So
find old
supposedly he
facts.
said Arkansas is his destination job.
That's where he wants to. Yeah,
he wants to be here, but not now. Like I don't know how old he is.
He looks probably 43, 44.
I think he's 42. I think he said not at 42, but maybe at 52. He's in a
so
good
he wants us to suck
situation.
for 10 more years.
and he's
What a jerk.
But again, that also could just be something to say to get everybody to leave you alone, let you coach a season, because he's still got a lot of things to coach for. You could still got an opportunity to win the whatever conference they're in. I can't keep up with them. I think they're
Big 12,
now.
I think so.
And because SMU is one of those schools that kind of jumped conference to conference for a couple of times over the last 5 years or so. But anyways, he's still got a lot to play for, even though SMU's a little bit down this year compared to last year. So he can't just be like, I want to talk to Arkansas. So I would put Franklin at 5. I'm going to move Lashley out this week. I'm going to put Dan Mullen at 4. I'm going to put I'm not going to put Gruden in my top 10. I'm going to put Golish at 3, Summerall at 2, and I think Bobby Petrino's still in the driver's seat. He's number 1 right now because it's his to win or lose, right? And so that's this week's top 5.
Okay.
And but I did want to mention James Franklin to you, and just kind of, I can tell you this: I don't know if James Franklin will be our coach or not next year. And I don't know that he's better than Bobby Petrino, but I do know he's better than Sam Pittman.
Yeah.
He would be a better situation than we've been in the last 5 years. So he's definitely an upgrade and fantastic. I don't remember his record. I mean, his record's phenomenal.
Yeah. I'm wanting to say it was like 148 it was something.
It's
like it was.
128 looks like to maybe like 60.
Yeah.
I mean, he wins 2/3 of the games that he coaches. His Big Ten record's phenomenal. His SEC record was 11-13. That's crazy. I mean, he was almost 500 at Vanderbilt. So
I was gonna say that it's not what you want, but at Vanderbilt, that's impressive.
that impresses. It's like, look what he's done lately in the Big Ten. Well, he's dominated the Big Ten other than Michigan and Ohio State.
Yeah. Well,
he was one play away from going to the national championship last season. This season, they entered the year number 2 in the nation, and ESPN give them I think maybe the 3rd best chance in the country to win the national championship. And then they started 0-3 in the Big Ten.
Lost to UCLA and
literally
everybody.
3 Saturdays ago, College Game Day was there for a whiteout, or SEC Nation. One of the big things was there. They were number 2 or 3 in the nation, and playing Oregon, and he was on top of the world.
Yeah.
And this comes
2
Saturday,
weeks
he's
later.
looking for a job.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
That's how crazy college football is.
That was the one thing I was going to say about him. I'm not saying hire him. I'm not saying don't hire him. I'm saying he has an incredible record, and he's an impressive coach.
Yeah.
But, again, when you coach in the Big Ten and you're at a big school, you better be a 10-win season, because they have 2 teams.
And he was.
They have 2, 3,
in fairness,
maybe 4.
They've got 4
solid
if
teams.
you're at Penn State, you think you're that. So they've got 5 top teams. They've got Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State.
Michigan's terrible now.
Oregon.
They were good.
And Indiana is hot now.
Indiana's hot now.
Yeah.
But, yeah, historically it's just been Michigan, Ohio State,
and then,
Oregon,
of course, Iowa's
and Penn
got
State.
a lot of,
okay. All right.
I mean, they'll beat you 6-3, But Iowa's got a lot.
But, yeah, so what I was going to say, though, is you bet, you at a Penn State, you better be beating Rutgers and Iowa State or whoever else. So, Minnesota. I mean, you better be beating those teams, but the question is, can you beat the best of the best in your conference? He couldn't do it. I don't think he should have been fired. I think that's insane. But if Penn State thinks that they can find somebody better, let's see it.
Well, kind of as a segue into who we're playing this week, I think Mike Elko may be a candidate for the Penn State job.
You think he'd leave Texas A&M for it?
He's from the Northeast. I don't remember. I think he's from New Jersey or somewhere like that.
Okay.
And Penn State football is a big deal up there.
It is.
I mean, it's a big deal up there.
I mean, it's got one of the largest stadiums in the world. The Whiteout is the most known, tradition in football. One of,
yeah. It's cool.
They jump around and throw their towels everywhere.
I mean, it's
it's neat.
It's impressive, and it's I imagine intimidating, for the other fan bases, to be there. I think of the most intimidating traditions. It's funny. I don't even think of many. I can't really think of anything in the SEC. I always think of Virginia Tech's team coming out to enter Sandman, and the stadium literally shaking.
Mm-hmm.
And I think of the Whiteouts and the
Penn State.
Penn State, they going crazy, stuff like that.
That's the two that always come to mind.
But I think Mike Elko may be a candidate for that job. So the coaching carousel towards the right now we're in limbo.
Yeah.
If we was to hire a coach before the season's up, and it's not Bobby Petrino, somebody like James Franklin would be the guy, because here's the thing: to get Summerall, to get Golish, to get Lashley,
you got to wait.
We've got to wait.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because those guys, they're not going to be in the college football playoffs, but they're not gonna want to talk. I mean, they've got things to play for. And they're not going to want to talk till the end of the season. So you're looking. And maybe you could get one of those guys before their bowl game, but you're still going to have to wait till the end of November, 1st of December.
And if you're a man, you're not going to give up on your team during the middle of your season. So if you've got any kind of moral about you, you're at least going to wait until the season's over before you start having those conversations. But, I mean, a coach that I know that is at our school right now has done that before. So I mean, you never know. But yeah, I'm excited. We've talked a whole lot about everything else but this game, so I guess we can go ahead and get on into it. The Texas Colt members are currently undefeated at 6-0, only one of two SEC undefeated teams remaining. They've got a proven quarterback in the Heisman running candidacy with Marcel Reed, a stout offensive line. The Razorbacks' defenses are going to have its hands full, no doubt, in the passing game. A&M ranks 25th in total offense, while the abysmal Arkansas defense ranks 120th. But they're on the up and up. You know, they're trying their hearts out right now, so that's good to see. Their running game hasn't been jaw-dropping, but Ruben has had a breakout game here and there. A couple weeks ago at Mississippi State, he had a pretty good game. Nonetheless, locking the receivers down is going to be the main priority, and that's going to be the hardest thing for Arkansas to do.
Yeah, it's the toughest part for us at week in and week out is figuring out how to cover the other team's receivers. We typically start out in some type of zone that gets sliced apart almost immediately.
Mm-hmm.
They're just not good enough, really, one-on-one to go to a lot of man, and so it's going to be interesting to see third weekend now because we had a bye week, had a game week, now we've had a week of prep, to see this defense, how they can evolve, how Coach Wilson can get, and Coach Petrino, because I know he's being involved in the defensive scheming, how they can look at film and get some stuff corrected and try to put us in the best position. They did a good job.
Yeah.
To go from the way we looked against Notre Dame to the way we looked defensively against Tennessee.
From the worst defense in the country
they did a good job. Got us back to playing like we were when we were playing Ole Miss, Memphis, where we were kind of a bend but don't break deal. I've always hated that mentality. Houston Nutt kind of coined that phrase, and I didn't like it back then. But I think that's the best we're going to be able to hope for this season. Is just,
absolutely,
a defense that will bend a little. Maybe you give up a field goal. Hopefully, at the worst, maybe you can get 2 or 3 stops per game, and hope that your offense
is rolling,
is able to key in on all their possessions, and have at least one more point at the end of the game than the other team.
Well, on the flip side, Arkansas comes into this game ranking 6th in total offense, that's pretty good. That's pretty good, as A&M ranks 20th in total defense. They've got a really good defense this season, so it's going to be a good matchup here. Talon continues his impressive season, ranking 1st in the country for total offensive yards and yards per game. He does, however, seem to have a tendency to turn the ball over quite a bit. So he's got to get that cleaned up if we want any chance whatsoever of playing in this game, because A&M's stout defense, they're going to no doubt take advantage of that. They're going to punish our offense for those costly mistakes. So we got to play clean, no turnovers. We got to minimize penalties like we did in Tennessee. That was good to see. I mean, they only accepted 1 of the 2 or 3 penalties that we committed. And the defense has to, again, play, like you said, bend it, but not break defense while they continue to build their identity, because, honestly, they didn't have one. They had no coaches. But it's week 3, so we ought to see some more improvement, and I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Right. When we looked at the game last week against Tennessee, again, we saw a lot of improvement. I want to see if we can continue to take steps forward. I'm hoping that wasn't their peak. I'm hoping that was a stepping stone into what this defense can be. It was good again to see the offense score in the second half, and so I felt like there was a lot of improvement on both sides of the ball. But like you said about Talon, the thing about Talon is, and this was the same thing, I've been kind of comparing him to Matt Jones a little bit today. Matt Jones, for all the highlights he would just take quarters off, where, he might not complete a pass for 8 passes in a row, and then all of a sudden he does something great. And it's kind of like, that's kind of been Talon's MO. He's like usually pretty good in the first series or 2, the first quarter. And then it's almost like he goes into a lull again, kind of into the fourth quarter. Coach Petrino talked in the press conference about they've got to get him to realize when he rolls out, and if everybody's covered, tuck that ball away and hold on to it, and hopefully they can get this plague of fumbles. There's not even a word for it. I mean, it's just confusing. It's head scratching. It's like, how can we fumble the football this much
over and over again? I mean, you would think, happens once, all right, happens twice, well, okay, but let's get better. 3 times, come on, what's going on? It's been like 8.
Like if the offense was bad,
yeah,
I could, you just go, well, that's just a bad offense.
Yeah, but the offense is incredible.
Is good.
They're 6th in the country. You've got the best quarterback in the country, and you just can't hold on to the ball. When we were in school, and I've seen this actually, a few different coaches did it, but our Coach Green, when we had him, I think it was Gavin. He fumbled the ball. It might not have been Gavin. One of our running backs fumbled the ball like twice in one game. So Coach Green made him hold the football all through that week in school. So everywhere he went, he had to hold it through classes the whole day, and he told every single person in his classes,
try to
punch that ball out, and if he heard it, Gavin was going to, or whoever the running back is going to have to run miles around the.
I've heard of that before. That's kind of,
and it worked. He didn't fumble the ball the rest of the season.
That's an old school tactic. So yeah, I'd like to see Talon and some of the receivers, some of the backs.
Braylon Russell.
Braylon's been, that's unusual for him to
fumble.
He
doesn't fumble. I think that's his first of the season.
Anyways, I wouldn't mind seeing them walking around campus if these guys even go to campus. I don't know. I don't know anymore if these guys go to class or not.
No, they've got somebody. They've got somebody sitting in class for them, paying them to.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
But no, so I'd like to go up to the Catfish Hole up in Fayetteville and see one of them football players holding that ball. That's what they need to do, because if you're gonna fumble, you're gonna get punished for it. Oh yeah, you walk around down here, I'm jumping on you. I'm punching that thing out. Yeah. I want to get the reward.
I was listening to Kirby Smart's press conference. I don't watch every coach's press conference, but anytime there's anything interesting kind of goes on in the game, I'll watch both coaches' press conferences. And the Auburn-Georgia game had a lot of shenanigans going on in it.
Oh, yeah, it did.
Especially with the referees. With Kirby Smart, I don't care what he says. You could read his lips. He was saying they're clapping, but he was doing this. You don't clap. I'm trying to figure out how to. You don't clap like this. You clap like this.
That right there is the same call you make when you call a timeout.
He was calling a timeout. And the SEC Shorts did a funny deal where they had everybody sitting there, and they're like, well, let's give such and such a round of applause. And so they're all clapping, and then it shows the guy in the Georgia deal, and he's clapping like that, But in Kirby's press conference, he was talking about them stripping the ball, and he talked about how they spend so many minutes in every single practice just trying to strip the ball away from people. Mm-hmm. And you could tell the way he said it, he meant it, and it was a priority for him. It wasn't just all right, let's do ball strip drill, and you run through it in 5 minutes and you're done. You could tell that it was a focus and a priority, and it just it makes a difference when you practice stripping and practice not being not
stripping the football,
stripped.
of course.
We had a guy strip on the
on the Honda Hall podcast.
The
last week
reaction video. A guy jumped in the pool. If y'all hadn't seen that, go watch that video.
See if you can find all kind of different.
Grandbabies make cameos in it. Sawyer's niece and nephew, Jason Magnolia, they come out there and then.
Different voices were heard in the background. Jesse said something. Amanda said something about the Hoosiers. And then John Tillman's waving over the fence, apparently. I didn't even see that the first time I went through.
We couldn't see you in the camera, so.
But, yeah. I'm excited for this game. Before we finish it out, I'd like to give some Texas A&M fun facts.
I sure hope the audio is working.
If it's not, we ain't recording this again. Did you know that the highest ranking member in their fake army is a general dog named Reveal?
That makes sense.
Because they have a fake army over there, and their highest-ranking member is a dog.
Yeah.
Did you true or false?
I for real grew up thinking Texas A&M was a military school academy. And it's just
I did not
ROTC.
know that they weren't until 3 years ago when you started talking about it. I thought that they had a big military program, like, for whatever reason.
I don't want to sell ROTC short.
No, it's not the ROTC. It's the way they go about it.
Yeah.
It's the way that their
They
highest-ranking
act like-
member is a dog,
I don't
and
know
they
what this button you're pushing is, but
it doesn't
it's
do
not messing
nothing.
anything up, is it?
no, it's just so cult-like. It's so weird.
So if you're a
The
member
way they
of the
go about it.
ROTC, we're not making fun of that. We're just making fun of the fact that they present it as if. I mean, I was like, okay, why don't Army and Navy and Air Force, why don't they play Texas A&M?
Yeah.
Because obviously they've got the largest military, student section in the
Yeah,
and none of those people are actually in the actual military.
yeah.
The ROTC, I guess, is like trains you to one day maybe join the military.
That's what it's for.
I need to
It's
study up on it.
ROTC is. I ain't gonna say what Tim calls it, but it's to train you for if you want to join the military and all that,
Or if you want just want to pretend like you're one.
or if you want to, if you want to do that. But no,
not only that, it's all their weird
the midnight
cult-like
yell
stuff that they do. It
the-
just makes them insufferable.
It's crazy. True or false? The Texas A&M Aggies don't have cheerleaders, but rather an all-men's yell squad because they like men so much. That is true. That is true. They don't have cheerleaders, but rather their program has an all-men's yell squad, and I think that's the weirdest thing I've ever heard of
Can't say what
for
I
a
think it is,
tradition
but
for a tradition in
rhymes
football.
with
It's that's just one of the many different things about Texas A&M.
yeah, they're okay.
That's interesting.
Strange.
Yeah, all men's yell squad. But I don't even know what they do. Do they? I do know what they do. I've went and seen it. Do you know that they literally the day before their game they have a night practice? It's called the Midnight Yell. Their whole fan base and all the students come together and
Coaches
practice
and everybody, don't
chants. They practice the
Like a
chants they're going to
straight-up
do.
cult.
First off, like a cult. Second off, if you're so uncoordinated, you got to practice your chanting. That's insane.
Do they?
It's so weird.
So they do that even if they've got an 11 a.m. game, don't they?
Every night, every Friday night during the season, midnight yell. They come together and they practice chants.
That's what makes them Texas A&M.
Yeah.
A&M. That's just what makes them Texas A&M.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, it's Lord have mercy. Midnight yell.
Okay.
All right, let's try to move on from that because that's just creepy and weird. But we're gonna go ahead and keep talking about this game real quick before we close out. Arkansas to this point I don't even know. I try not to keep up with it because it hurts to look at. What we 2-5, 2-4?
Oh, our record?
Yeah,
Yeah, we're 2-5.
2-5. We've played 7 games already. Season's halfway over. Whew, man. All right, well. We're 2-4 or 2-5. I don't think we've played
Maybe
7.
We're 2-4.
Ole Miss, Memphis, Notre Dame, Tennessee.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
We're
so
2-4.
2-4 up to this point.
They're 6-0.
They're 6-0. We're 2-4. They're going to be favored by, like Tennessee was, probably 2 touchdowns if I were to guess.
I think the line on the game is 7.5.
Oh wow, they don't respect Ole Miss at all. A&M should be 3-point favorites. When you take into consideration they're undefeated and number 4 or 5 in the country, and we're defeated. 3 touchdown favorites.
Oh, you said 3 point.
Well, that's what I meant. But anyways,
3 score
we're
favorites.
defeated on the season. So, I mean, they should be much – it shouldn't be close. It's going to be close, and Arkansas is going to pull out the victory against Texas A&M at home for the first time in 12 years at home. First time in, I think let me pull it back up. I knew I was going to have to pull something up. I should have left it open.
Hogs.
I'm always high on Hogs. I was going to do a whole big, long thing, but, I've done it every week. It gets old. Let's just shoot into it.
I thought you was supposed to go into a whole big deal, and then you just said what
I just pulled it out. The last time that we won at home, let me see here, Fayetteville. Oh, okay. So it's just colored. Fayetteville. I'm losing. 1988. It appears, unless I'm missing one. The last time we beat A&M at home was 1988.
Yeah, and by home you mean in Fayetteville or Little Rock.
Yeah.
Um,
Because I don't care what you say. When the game's played in Texas, it's played in Texas.
yeah,
That's
even
not
if
a
we're the
home game.
Team, yeah.
That's not a home game. So we have not won against A&M in Fayetteville since 88, which we've only played them 3 times since then. But, man, if this game's not sold out, that's going to be crazy. You haven't played them in forever. We're not doing good, but we're doing better. So I'm really hoping that the fan base joins together and bands around the program, joins up with the team and really tries to give a home field advantage. It's a 2:30 game, so it's not too late, it's not too early.
I think it'll be a near sellout, if not a sellout.
It ought to be packed.
I think the crowd's going to be hot. With Bobby back on the sideline for the first time in the state of Arkansas since 2011.
Yep.
He's coaching one of our old, long-standing rivals. He's coaching a team that we hired him away from. Is their offensive coordinator.
There's a lot of reasons to be excited.
He was fired
for the fan base
because Jimbo was fired.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's not like, that was his last job before we brought him back. Actually, no, he
went to UNLV.
He took the UNLV coordinator, so we actually hired him
for our old defensive coordinator.
UNLV. That's such a Bobby Petrino thing to do there, but the crowd's going to be hot. It's going to be
some things never change.
A near sellout at least.
Yeah,
probably a sellout. Being that the defense is going to be playing better. Hopefully, the offense is going to be playing better. I do think it's going to be a close game. Realistically, I think I'm going to go with A&M by about 9.
I thought you was going to pull it back on us. I thought you was going to get back high on the Hogs and do some funny stuff.
I wish I could. I just, I think it's going to be somewhere like 36-27 or something like that. I think the Hogs are going to show good and probably maybe score late to make it respectable, kind of like we did with. But I think Texas A&M's defense is too good. Tennessee's defense was not good.
They were atrocious. Yeah, they have a bad
defense. Is real good.
They're ranked 100th.
Now that is just all things just being like they have been this season. If Arkansas can come out and play inspired, and here's the other thing, the reason why I'm not super high on the Hogs this week, we just haven't played nearly as good at home as we have on the road.
No.
On the road, we don't get beat by more than one score. That was what got Sam Pittman fired. All these one-score losses were on the road, and then we come home and get blown out.
Yeah.
So hopefully that doesn't carry over to the new look Hogs.
Mm-hmm.
If they can come out and play inspired, they can win this ball game. Texas A&M is not so good that we can't beat them. I'm just trying to pick what I think realistically will happen. I think they're about 9 points better than us. But here's the thing: home field advantage gets you 7. That takes it down to 2. Can we do something, cause a fumble on them? Can we do something to swing the momentum and
pick off
win
a ball?
This game? I think it's possible, just probably not probable.
Yeah, and I understand that. If I had it in me, I would probably, if I was going to try to be realistic, pick Texas A&M to win, 38-35. I don't have it in me. I can't pick against the Hogs.
That's what makes our dynamic good.
I can't pick against them. I would love to be able to be realistic, but I'm going to die a hopeful man.
Hogs, we're going to give.
Matter of fact, we're going undefeated the rest of the season. You got me going. I'm sick of this down on the Hogs mentality. We're fisting to crush them. We're going to win this game 44-28.
Okay.
Take it to the bank.
I think the bank will be closed after that, but I hope you're right. Again, you're the you're the more optimistic. I'm the old man that's just
Seen it all.
jaded by
Time.
all this time and all these
Heartbreaks.
near losses and all this stuff. So I'm trying to stay more down to reality, but I sure hope you're right. And I do think the Hogs can win this game, and so I hope they do. Sure going to be calling the Hogs and rooting for them. I hope when we do our reaction show, we're laughing and cheering and having a good time over an Arkansas victory.
I'm with you on there. All right. Final score predictions. I'm going to say Arkansas just gets by the very tip of the line, edges this one out. I'm going to say we win this ball game 38-35.
I said 9 points, so I'm going to say 30. I'm going to say 36-27. I think that's what I said a while ago. I'm going to stick with that.
All right. Anything else we need to bring up other than the sponsor today?
Other than just getting the pay package ready for James Franklin to come be the next head coach. I don't know what else we'll be reporting on until then. But
I mean, hey, every week there's been something that we're like, do we need to do an emergency podcast?
John Gruden, Ed Orgeron.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still on the Coach
You
O
gave your
train.
top 5. Coach O is my number 2. Petrino 1. Coach O 2. Just for the show. Let's buy Kirby Smart. He just came to mind. Let's buy him out of Georgia. Give me
my top
Rhett
5
Lashley,
was not who
Alex
I
Golish.
hope.
Who
My
you think?
top 5 was
Yeah.
who I think actually has the best.
If I'm being
chances of getting
realistic,
the job.
Bobby Petrino, I think, like you said, it's his to win or lose. I do think John Summerall's probably number 2. I think he's probably the front runner right now behind Petrino, just from everybody's talking about him. And then so on and so forth. But yeah, today's video and every video is sponsored by Shelter Insurance Dillinger Agency in Harrisburg, Arkansas, licensed in Tennessee, Missouri, and Arkansas
almost
for
Mississippi,
everything.
and then I just backed out of it. I had some customers that was moving. I thought, I may get, because I've lost some folks that move out, move out of that state to Mississippi, and
It's close.
I almost got. But I just didn't. So still, Arkansas, Tennessee, Missouri.
Unless you got an annuity claim, then I mean, hey, we'll get
claim,
wherever.
but
Not a
if you
claim,
want-
but
yeah,
you want a big annuity.
I'll pay that license fee.
Yeah, we'll get licensed anywhere.
But home, auto. I don't do health insurance, but if you have questions about it or want to say, I can point you. In
You don't
the
do
right
health
direction.
insurance?
I don't do full blown health. I mean, I can.
I've said on every podcast that you sell health
I
insurance.
mean, you say lots of things that ain't true.
I've told people in passing that you sell health insurance.
I'm licensed in health. I mean, I legally can sell it. I just don't mess with it very much, We've got some. I can definitely get you a quote, if you want health insurance. So
Okay.
You haven't said anything that ain't true. I just don't mess with it, but I can, and I have in the past a little bit. Retirement planning, long-term care. I mean, there's really not anything that I can't help you out with. So give me a call, shoot me a text, 870-578-5900. Won't cost you nothing but a little bit of time. I'll get some information from you and figure out what we can do to help you not only save some money, hopefully, but nobody's going to treat you better than Shelter Insurance when you need to use your insurance. Insurance is nothing but a bill and a piece of paper until you need to use it. And when you need to use it, it's a devastating time. Either your new car has just been demolished or the roof is missing off your house. You don't want to be having to punch, 14 to get English and 37 to, listen to this long thing. You want to
Elevator
call
music.
your agent and say, John, help me take care of this. And I'm going to say, that's what you pay me for. So, again, 870-578-5900. Call or text. I'll help take care of you.
All right. Other than that, thank you all. God bless and go Hogs.
Jesus saves.
Woo pig.